You'll see some.
Oh, you'll know. You'll
Bam,
know.
we're live.
I forgot.
If we're,
This guy's new here, remember?
if you're uncertain, just play dumb. That's what I do.
You can do that.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to what is the unofficial press conference.
What makes it unofficial? Why can't this be the official one?
I mean, it is the official one, but I don't know.
I got to ask a question. Is it truly unofficial? They have press conferences and the entire media team is it's like, hey, they're asking questions. It's like, if that isn't us in the audience asking questions, how is it a press conference? If it's just the morning chalk up who's sitting there asking questions, then what is it?
Hiller's just diving in like diving in like a 17-year-old boy who just got the green light.
Green light's the only light that matters.
Just diving in. Holy.
You said you were going to be the one who was in rare form.
I'm really trying to stay really tempered. I want to paint a big picture view. And Hiller, feel free to jump in anywhere you want to correct my understanding of it. It was brought to my attention last night that there was going to be a press conference this morning, and someone had sent me a link to a morning chalk up article, and I went and checked out the link, and I sent it a request. And I contacted Hiller and asked him if he was going, and he said that he had also sent a request. And then he said that he got his response back, and we both sent it to the same person. Well, I sent mine to Andrew Weinstein, and ICC. Andrew Weinstein's the guy. That's a whole nother thing. We'll get into him in a minute.
That is also who I sent mine to, by the way.
Okay, and I CC'd Nicole Carroll, Justin Berg, and Gary Gaines, and maybe one other person that I can't remember.
I can't say I did the same. Just the one for me.
Okay. And I got a response. Very clever. I think Andrew would actually be a great commenter in the comments. He said, unfortunately, I'm paraphrasing. I said, hey, can I come to? I'd like to come to the press conference. Sevan Podcast would like to come to the press conference. And he responded with, unfortunately, this is just for media only.
What are we? What are we considered? Just
I don't know. But it reminds me of when I asked my girlfriend, my first girlfriend in the 10th grade, if she would go out on a date with me, and she said I only go out with straight guys. I was like, okay, got it. Like
a true story.
No, it's not true, but don't ruin my stories. But it is true what Andrew Weinstein said to me, and that's him I have to assume that's ouch, right? I have to assume that's him being snarky, right? By saying, unfortunately, it's for media only. So I responded with, hey, I suspect I'm the by several metrics the largest media covering CrossFit and the CrossFit Games, and definitely fastest growing. Please reconsider. And what you started this podcast with, Andrew, is you said, hey, how is it a press conference if you and I aren't there?
Just anything you've ever seen, like the Conor McGregor's getting interviewed after they do a weigh-in, or the post-NBA or MLB press conferences. There's an entire field of people back there from every realm of whatever, I don't know, NBC sports, and they've got ESPN sitting out there, and they all have their microphones up trying to ask questions. And from what I understand, it was just morning chalk up asking questions to a field of people.
Right.
Well, and I guess when I have a little knowledge that people like the Wad's Great Again guy will get media passes to the CrossFit Games, right? And if he, as an internet meme page, can get a media pass, that's media, right? So what are we?
Well, I'll tell you something very interesting too. Now we're jumping way ahead of ourselves, but you guys, this show is going to be full of stories like this. When Andrew, there was a time when who's the other Armenian guy besides me? When Armin Hammer and the meme guy were doing some really pretty gnarly attacks at Dave Castro, and Dave had said that they could not come to the CrossFit Games, and Andrew Weinstein's response to him was, "Hey, we have to let them come to the games. We have to give them media passes. There's going to be good media and bad media," and so that's from his mouth. Now, this guy. we should actually maybe even pull up his Twitter. You can pull up his Twitter account, Kayla, maybe if you want. But this guy was a huge Mitt Romney supporter, and then swung hard and was a huge Hillary Clinton supporter, and then just basically made a living of just hating Trump. And his whole credentials when you meet this guy is basically he's a fixer. That's all he does. He thrives with problems. He's this little sort of very, very petite man living in Costa Rica. And that's not good. That's I mean, he's petite next to me. He's a petite man living in Costa Rica. He did not even show up at the most recent first all hands on deck meeting that CrossFit HQ has had last week in Colorado. I think he's one of the only people to not show up. He just hides out in Costa Rica. I think in the last 2 years, maybe he's only come stateside once for a CrossFit meeting. And I bring this up because this is the guy who's him and this chick, Erin, who comes from Waze, are the two people who are running basically CrossFit media. This guy has to have problems. He probably loves us. We're like job security for him, Hiller.
You said he likes problems. It's what yes. You said you can pick on Twitter. So if we're causing problems, then he really likes us.
Yes. And so that's who Andrew Weinstein is. For those of you who don't know, that's who we sent the email to requesting to get into the press conference. And he responded to both of us. What did he say to you? Did he respond to you?
Yeah, it said something along the lines of, we're only allowing media, but I'm interested as to whether or not you'll be at a semifinal, and let's keep in touch.
Okay. So he knows who it sounds like maybe he knows who you are.
Which is awesome. I'm over here like, hey, I'm a media guy. Like, why won't they let me in? But it's like, really, I've only been around for 2 months, right? So what the hell am I complaining about?
Well, you've made more media than the CrossFit Games media department has made. The 17 members, 13 of which are women that they're so proud of, and 4 are men in the last, I don't know, 2 years.
So wait, how many people was that? 13 and what?
10 plus 13 women and 4 men.
Okay, so that's 17, and they put out how much content?
And when I say men, I'm using that word loosely. I haven't seen. Oh, Weinstein kind of looks like Matthew McConaughey there.
I was going to say that. Look at that
good,
guy,
buddy. Looking good.
Imagine him if he were bald, though. That's what I'm doing. I don't know why. He looks good.
Right. Yeah, he's a DC goon. He is just a political. He's a political creature of the highest order. And what's fascinating to me. So by the way, I am also curious what the DEI Council would say about not having you and I there. Diverse. Equity, inclusivity. That first of all, okay, I'm gonna tell you that wasn't a press conference. The fact that it was leaked to Morning Chalk Up yesterday that there's a press conference in the morning means it's not a press conference. It's a propaganda show. Everyone who works at the Morning Chalk Up, or a huge chunk of them, was given a link and asked to apply to come to the press conference, to fill it up, to make it feel robust. And then people like Mr. Hiller and I were denied access. The largest.
Did you get the transcript?
What'd you say?
I didn't call you a Jew. I asked if you got the transcript.
I did, yeah, and I do have a transcript also. Yes.
All right. Yeah, I had that sent to me.
And I listened to the whole thing. I got 3 recordings of it from people who were kind enough to send it.
I only got 1 recording. You got 3?
Yeah, well, that's the difference between me and you, Mr. Hiller.
Yeah, I have 1/10 of the popularity of you, man.
They all came from the same girl, though. That's how much she likes me.
She just bombed you. She made sure you saw it. That's what it was. It's just like repopulating at the top of your inbox.
So it's extremely disingenuous to call it a press conference. I really want to drive that home. It was not a press conference. This is more of a press conference, what you're hearing now, than that was there. That was not a press conference. That was Adrian Bosman and Justin Berg and Mal O'Brien and Gabriella Magawa and Guy, right, and Guy, answering the Morning Chalk Up questions, and Sean Woodland. I didn't hear Tommy Marquez ask a question. Did you?
Oh, you're right. Sean was there too, yeah, but not Tommy. Not that he didn't say anything, at least.
And we don't know who all was there, because when you're on the Zoom call, you can only see those 5 people. You can't see all the media that's there. But I was told that there were 15 other people, and I'm assuming 14 of them were. No, Brian was there. Geepy, Brian was there. I heard Brian ask a question. I heard Brian Friend ask a question.
Where is Brian? We have Metsuza. We don't have Brian Friend.
We don't have Brian Friend.
Yeah. Was
we
he
can't
invited?
afford. We can't afford Brian Friend.
He's getting expensive. You hit his quota.
We're stuck with the new guy. The new guy used to be Brian Friend, and now he's the old good guy. And now you're the new guy. We skim from the top pillar.
It's kind of like you were going to do 500 shows, and now Brian had 50 in him. He's capped out. You got to pay for him now with all your YouTube revenue.
Reach the limit.
Brian is always welcome on this show. So
send him a link.
Don't anyone get this twisted. Yeah, Susan, send him a link. Let's see if he pops in there.
All right, let's see. I'm nervous with this live call number up.
Oh,
shit! See, I said it.
Some people don't like the live call-in number. It's weird.
We got a lot of heat from last episodes with the live call-ins.
Why?
Maybe not the top quality callers you would expect on a.
It was fine. It was fine.
But we're truly a press conference because literally anybody could call in and ask their questions.
So, Mel, would you like to go through this like it kind of was the press conference, or what do you think? I got notes. Do you have notes?
I have 3 pages of notes that I'm ready to bang in on. I just wanted to make sure before we started that everyone understood sort of this picture. And I think we painted it well, right? It's a phone call that was set up between the morning chalk up and a couple other people, and they called it a press conference, but it's not a press conference because Andrew and I weren't invited. And I have to assume, just from the metrics I can see from video, some of these some of this software that Andrew and I have, that there's no 2 people who are doing more media in the space and are getting more attention.
I got nothing telling me otherwise.
So
who do you know?
So it is weird, and I think say it again.
Who do you know in the space who's even parallel with us at this point?
Well, I mean, there's other people in the space that are like generating just enormous numbers. I mean, look at Matt Fraser. Look at
Fraser, but he doesn't really do coverage of the sport. He's kind of doing his own thing.
Right, and I bring that up just to be specific about what we're doing.
Correct. Okay, I got it. Well, because I would say we're trying to compete with like the morning chalk up and maybe even the CrossFit Games itself with their own media.
Correct.
And then other than that, I don't really know much else that's talking directly about the sport. Maybe it'd be like, I don't know. I know you don't prefer when I talk about other podcasts and YouTube channels, so I'm going to
please talk about them. This is the CrossFit press conference where we're diverse, inclusive, and equanimous.
Well, like the Talking Elite guys, they have their own thing, but were they were included? They were there.
Yes.
Why were they included and we were not?
And I think that they are definitely me. Andrew Heller, who's that?
Where do you say?
I don't know who that is.
Oh no, it's my fiance in the chat. She was fighting people last time. She gets angry.
But they are definitely media, 100%. I
agree. Oh yeah,
they're beyond media. They're super media. They have conviction. Their whole entire shtick is CrossFit shtick. Me and you swerve off the road sometimes. You talk about steroids. I talk about planting gardens.
And then from what you just said, Weinstein would like that. He likes to put the fires out. It's his job.
Right.
Okay.
So as long as people understand that it wasn't a real press conference, that's just really what I want to. Yeah. I don't know. I know he calls his show The News.
He does, but it's mostly just like click around on Instagram and then there's something popping up, right? Like, oh, here's a picture of some guy doing a box jump and falling over.
Calm down, people. Just take your shots and calm down. Be cool. Everyone be cool. Calm down.
Someone said Andrew's fiance is hot. I agree. She is hot.
So
I sent Sevan a video of her the other day.
I know. Thank you. That was nice.
Yep. You're welcome.
You're a good dude. Another thing that they were supposed to announce at this press conference today, they were supposed to announce who the new CEO will be.
They were supposed to do that in that press conference?
That was one of the things that was being talked about that they were going to do. But they did not do that.
They did not do that. Not from what I saw or heard.
Did I tell you I met the highest ranking person at CrossFit Inc. When I was in Colorado?
Rosa?
No.
You said he was playing the guitar there.
No. I did not. I did not meet with Rosa there. But I did meet the highest ranking person at CrossFit, at least by title. I know you guys out there in the internet field like titles.
Are you going to throw a name and a title out there, or are you not?
No, no, not yet. I think it's more provocative if I just
Here's where we see the scared Sevan. He's coming out. He's scared.
The scared's fun. I also want to talk about the whoopee.
Let's do it. That's my favorite topic. Let's see if I can find it in the dark over here.
And then
there it is.
Caleb, can you bring up? I saw that in the video today. Can you bring up CrossFit.com? I want to show you guys one more thing that I think is very interesting. That Andrew and I did not make it into the fake press conference today. Hi.
Hello?
Yes, you're live.
Hey, what's going on? More than anything, I just want to. Someone needs to thank Andrew Hiller. This dude saved CrossFit straight up. There's so much cheating, so many bad things going on. I just want to say thank you to Andrew Hiller, dude. You saved the game. I was on a team. We were 8 spots from the quarterfinals. 8, and you got East Nashville. I hate throwing shade at them, but you got 4 elite athletes on their team. None of which did team. That sucks because I'd love to have a shot at the team quarterfinals. I just want to thank
they had 11 elite athletes on their team. 11. They have way more than 8.
Which is that's so ridiculous. And yeah, we get to the quarterfinals. Probably don't make a semifinal, but I mean, at least give us a shot. And it's I guess the principle of the situation with me. Dude, you bad signal hits the sky, man. You're the man. I appreciate it. Saving CrossFit, dude. Thank you.
No problem. I haven't saved it. We're working after it. We're going to save it. We're trying everything we can, man. Thank you. Thank you.
You're better. Thank you, guys. Sevan, you rule. Josh is better. Bye.
Andrew Hiller, the man.
Why'd you take your socks off? Get hot in there?
That's like equivalent to me taking my bra off. We're here. We're hanging out for a little bit.
It's 9 o'clock. You're getting ready for bed. It's 7 o'clock over there.
Mr. Beaver, can you pull up the CrossFit Inc. Website? So I'm pretty sure you see it says affiliate, then training, then CME, and then games, and then what is CrossFit workouts, movements, fundraisers. Now scroll down to the bottom in the footer. What is Sevan doing? Look at that under community inclusion. When Eric Rosa came, that became a tab at the top. It was vomitous.
Gen G,
now it's been moved to the bottom, and this motherfucker is less inclusive than ever.
Who?
CrossFit Inc.
Oh, you said this motherfucker. I thought you had talked about one person in particular, not a group, not a brand.
No. Just CrossFit Inc. It is. But I find it fascinating that they dropped off the inclusivity tab from the top.
Oh, interesting.
That
See,
was
that's the type of stuff you pay attention to.
That was Eric's big thing. I'm here to save the day. I'm here to save the black man, the gay man, the Jewish man, the Asian man. And now, what happened?
What about the media man? He didn't save us.
No, he didn't save the little Armenian man and the Andrew Hiller man.
Yeah. What about me?
Yeah, you're just a dude.
Yeah, you're just a dude.
You could be you're white enough to be on the executive team.
I'm trying to get tan though. Remember, we talked about in the last episode.
At this press conference, there were some questions asked. Do you mind if I dig into these questions? Some of the things that were talked about.
You're asking me? I've been waiting for you.
Okay. Oh wait, hold on. Pull down your pants. It's another call, Hiller.
Yes, sir.
Hi. Hello.
Hi. Is this Sevan?
No, this is Andrew Hiller's answering service. How can I help you?
I'm just going to say I'm a huge fan of the podcast.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah.
What else you got?
So I got a couple things to say. So I got a buddy, Nate Ackerman, who is he won the team games last year, and I think you should have him on the podcast. He's a very outspoken man, and he has a lot to say, and I think you should have him on. He'll get a bunch of hits.
Okay.
Nate Ackerman.
Hey, DM me that. Anything else? Is your wife leaving you?
No, I think that's it.
Okay.
I think
he's
appreciate
jacked.
it. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Bye. In the meeting, there would in this meeting, how long do you think that was, that press conference? 30, 40 minutes max?
No longer than 40 minutes.
Okay, and there were some questions that were asked. I'd say less than a dozen questions were asked. and there was a question someone asked from the audience. I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he asked Justin Berg about sponsorship.
I have that.
And he asked him about sponsorship, and then Justin answered the question, and then he said, maybe I wasn't clear enough, and then he asked another question about sponsorship. And I believe they sounded like the two worst questions I'd ever heard. They were so open-ended. They almost seemed like they were soft served to Justin so that he could hit a home run. The question was something like, are you happy with the roster of people you have and the changes that have been taking place in the in the sponsorship for CrossFit Inc.? And then Justin answered. But what it really sounded what this guy wanted to say was, because he kept saying, oh, we're hearing through the grapevine or the news says or whatever. He wanted to say, hey, what the fuck is going on with the Whoopie? So I just want to report to you what I know on the Whoopie, and maybe Andrew Hiller can tell you what he knows about the what's going on with the Whoopie. But I have two pretty good sources. One of the sources said that who there's 700 employees who work at Whoopie, and one of the team members over there told me that in episode 383 of the Sevan podcast, at the 1 hour and 16-minute mark, I just say what happened, what I speculate what happened between CrossFit Inc. and Whoop. And this person who works at Whoopie said, you nailed it. That's exactly what's happening right now at Whoopie.
Was that you saying they were tiptoeing out of the room?
Yes. Is there any way you can play that, C. Beaver? Mr. Beaver, it's episode 383. It's a live call-in show. It's at the 1 hour and 16-minute mark. If I was a good dude, I wouldn't put Beaver on the. I would have sent this to him ahead of time instead of slamming on him at the last minute. But basically, what I say is this: CrossFit's a tarnished brand. I suspected that CrossFit is a tarnished brand, and Whoopie is on the ascension, even though it's getting slammed in the reviews, and they don't want to be around that tarnished brand. And I think Andrew speaks about it very nicely in his video too. Why would you want a tarnished brand with 1 million followers on Instagram when you got Rich Froning on your and Katrin's daughter repping your shit?
Sevan, from what I've spoken to you about, I don't think you understand how big some of these other sports are too. Like that, from what I know, they've got LeBron on their freaking roster of people wearing the Whoop, talking about the Whoop.
He's perfect for them. He's perfect for them. He peddles garbage all the time. He's perfect for them.
Isn't he sponsored by Coke too?
Sprite.
Pepsi, Sprite, yeah, whatever.
Okay, so like at the hour and 16-minute mark, let's play that just so. And then I got another person inside Whoop told me something else that I found very interesting in regards to dealing with Justin Berg. So we'll get to that in just a minute. Let's play. Members will continue to have access to all their previous track CrossFit training activities and data under the new box. Can we go to 116? Too hard. Oh yeah, nice. Oh yeah.
People are just making it.
Yeah, like the Whoop. I think the Whoopie's like, we're supposed to be data driven, and something's. Oh yeah, Whoop, the official wearable of CrossFit. Is that true? Hey, type that in and see if like what pops up. Wow. Oh shit. Oh shit. They have multiple year partnership was announced in May 24th. Oh, it must be on YouTube. It must be a different time code than Buzzsprout. But basically what I say is that they see what's happening with the CrossFit Games right now, Whoop, and they're not happy with it, and they don't want to be affiliated with something that's being run like a shit show. And I was told that is the chatter at Whoop. I was also told this, and I had told you guys this before, that working at, and I didn't know it was Whoop. I didn't think about Whoop in specific, but working at CrossFit HQ, there were a lot of relationship issues with Justin Berg, who's now in charge of the CrossFit Games. And those relationship issues were with our sponsors, our management team, the other employees. And it's no fucking surprise to me that I'm hearing that there's issues in the negotiations between Whoop and CrossFit surrounding Justin. Why
are there negotiations? Didn't they have a 4-year plan or a 3-year like deal with Whoop?
Well,
what's with the negotiations?
Those things are always in negotiations. So like the second we signed a 10-year deal with Reebok, every year it feels like there's more negotiating. We want to change this. We want to change this. It's either CrossFit or Reebok. So that I got schooled up on that shit pretty quick, especially when you have very big money deals. And I'm thinking that Whoop is probably the second or third largest sponsor of CrossFit. I mean, I don't think anyone's even close to as big as what Bill and Katie do.
You think that they're throwing all the money in the games at this point? Because from what it seemed like in the press conference, all they had left were O2 and what's the other one? GoWad. Those are the only ones that were referenced in the press conference.
And
how much money are they going to be throwing in there? Like Go Wide just started up, and O2 is a drink that have you seen them? I don't know. Maybe they're in a Mariano sort of deal or a Julasco, so maybe they're bigger than I think.
they're undrinkable, by the way. Have you
so
had
bad.
those?
They're the worst.
I don't. I'm not even trying to be mean. I will drink anything. Like I know Fit Aid tastes bad, and I fucking get excited every time I see a can.
You don't like any of those?
I mean, it's like drinking medicine. I mean, it's not.
There's
it's not
something about the one with creatine in it that I just love. It tastes like Flintstones vitamin.
Yes, I'm a sucker for the word creatine, but Hunter McIntyre ruined that for me. He said that it doesn't have enough creatine in there to make your fucking hair.
You know, I agree with that too. It doesn't have shit in there.
But it's the whole thing. It's why the only thing when I see that Bang energy drink and they have creatine written around the top, my nipples swell.
Aren't you like 150 pounds? Wouldn't that drink kill you?
Probably.
The 300 milligrams of caffeine will put you into a coma.
Just fucking. Okay, so that is what I'm hearing about the Whoop. I'm hearing that they are disgruntled at the operations of CrossFit, which you can't blame them. There's still no CEO. There's no Dave Castro. I mean, all the brand value of the games is diminished and diminishing, which is exactly what Andrew Weinstein loves to see.
Because he's going to thrive off of it.
Yeah. Let the problems. I
wish
I could remember what he told me, the 5 things that like he saved. Like, wish I could remember. Okay, go ahead.
He saved the whale species that was going extinct.
No, he'll be like
saved a bunch of endangered species.
He'll be like, during the economic disaster of 2008, I was in charge of the PR for the White House. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up.
It's like we like to do push-ups, man.
When I also think that we do like to do push-ups. I also think that you have to. I put it in perspective. When I came to CrossFit, there were 300 gyms. When I left, there were 15,000, and the company sold for hundreds of millions of dollars, and I was in charge of everything forward-facing. And Andrew Weinstein was part of the team that laughed behind Greg Glassman's back that they stole the company for Greg because they got it so cheap. And now, I think they'd be hard-pressed to sell it for $50 million. While Weinstein's been in the same position that I was in. So I have to assume he doesn't want to be anywhere near me.
Are you pulling those numbers out of your butt, or do you have anything to back that up?
I have some stuff to back it up.
All right. All right.
Which number? The fact that it was sold for hundreds of millions of dollars, or that it might only be worth 50?
The 50 million on the way out number.
Well, I know what 3 serious offers were for CrossFit Inc. that came into Greg during the time. And I know what the lowest one was. And I think CrossFit I think CrossFit's probably there.
Oh, you think it's at the lowest one now? Okay, gotcha.
I mean, dude, it's taken a fucking beating. No? Tell me.
No, I agree.
Tell
I
me.
mean, I'm pretty much I pigeonholed myself, and it's not like I pigeonholed myself. It's really all I think about is the game side of thing and the elite athlete sport side of things. But I also still have that huge part of me that was the affiliate owner side of things, where I think about everything that's going on over there. And I know that I've heard you say in the past that you don't think that people should be affiliates anymore because what do they do for the affiliates? I agree with that to a pretty large extent. But when I was an affiliate back in the day, the biggest thing that would happen was the media. People would wander in because they would see CrossFit on ESPN. And then that was the games bringing people into my gym, which was right next to an export back in the day. And it would be stuff like You're Killing the Fat Man, or the monthly thing that would come out and people would see it. And it's like, oh, this is a cool story that I saw on YouTube about how somebody got into shape, saved their life via CrossFit. So it was always the media stuff. It wasn't really the big thing. And I brought it up in the 57 cart putt was they have the program where the affiliates can now get discount codes through Rogue and through having their affiliation with CrossFit. It's like, all right, you get 20% off to Noble as a CrossFit affiliate. It's like, why is that important when you're buying a $50 t-shirt? You get 20% off $50. And back in the day when Reebok was making shirts, the shirts were $30. So you're still spending more money. It doesn't matter if you're a CrossFit affiliate getting a Noble shirt. The shoes, the $160 brand new shoes that are the exact same shoe as every other shoe, they're still way more expensive than the Nanos that would go on sale 3 months after they came out, and everybody knew it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. The whole, like, what I agree with you. Like, what is the point of being an affiliate anymore?
To answer you, Hiller, and to answer this fine gentleman with the cowboy hat, I'm opening a gym, my third I've opened, and I want to push what Greg Glassman started, but don't want to support these ass clowns. Should I not affiliate? I would say ask Chris Cooper. Chris Cooper of Two Brain Business is the largest gym business advisor company in the world. I don't know how many thousands of gyms he has as clients. Consulting he consults with, but he's massive. I know he's the largest in the world, and he's easy to get a hold of. And reach out to him and ask him what he says.
How would he get a hold of somebody like Chris Hooper?
Chris Cooper.
I did say Hooper. I meant to say Cooper.
Everything doesn't start with an H, Hiller.
Are you sure? Hatman, Hiller and Hatman.
What if you just started calling me Sevan Hatosian? What if you change? That could be another thing you do. You change everyone's last name to an H. Hey, I got a question for you.
Patrick Hellner. What's that?
Why is it when someone speaks of themselves in the third person, there's always like someone who's like, that's so arrogant. Why do you speak about yourself in the third person? Why is that arrogant to speak of yourself in the third person?
Are you saying this is something that I do or people say?
No. I'm way off topic now. Way off topic.
I need.
Do you think it's arrogant when the Liver King talks about himself in the third person?
Oh,
Liver King
fuck no! It's awesome. I love the Liver King. He's so cool. Speaking of Liver King, everybody who's in the comments right now, like this and send it around, because you never do this, Sevan. You're on the live show with like 13,000 followers on the awesome podcast. Like everyone needs to go sign up for send this thing around. Like I don't care who the first person is in your contact list for your text messages, just send them the Sevan podcast right now. So this thing gets a little bit more SEO on the YouTube channel. I do it for the algorithm. Sevan never does it, and I'm doing it right now. Now back to the Liver King, which is what we were talking about. Him talking in the third person, all he is a walking around SEO, and he's the man. He's freaking cool. And I can't believe that you're thinking of the Liver King, the first ever podcast that he was ever on, only has 15,000 views. Oh. The dude was living behind a screen his entire life, and all he did was put up 1 minute clips. And before that, it was TikTok. And you don't know who the dude is, and then you have him sitting in a chair, shirtless, doing this real life thing with you, and it's only got 15,000 views. Like, why? That's because nobody sends everything around for you because you don't tell them to. Send this video around it. Hey, look at this. Sign up for the newsletter. That's good.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne, that is your job. You do a very good job of having people SEO this for Sevan. All right.
While we're doing that, there is a new T-shirt coming out. We might as well take a small intermission. There's a new T-shirt coming out before we continue our CrossFit podcast. It's called the No Rep. Oh, this is from Canada.
Is it Bellner?
Oh, maybe it's Chris Cooper. Hello.
Oh, that would be epic.
That would be. Hello.
Hey, Sevan. Hey, Andrew. How's it going?
Hey, what's
up, dude?
This is Peter. I'm calling from Canada. I just want to say, Andrew, I really appreciate your videos, man.
It's been no problem, Peter.
To watch.
Which one's your favorite?
There's so much fluff on. I like all your the ones with the no reps and all that kind of stuff. Like all the most recent ones, the ones with the steroids and stuff. Like all of it's been good, man.
You have a pretty deep really voice. Do you do steroids? Do you do steroids? You have a deep voice.
No, I am on TRT.
Oh,
but I am 56. So
how is the TRT?
Oh, it's been awesome.
When did you start?
I do it probably 5 years ago. Like I had a lot of concussions when I was younger, and I've had low T like my whole life. Like
how do you know?
And then finally, I just said to my doctor, "I'll do blood tests."
Gotcha.
And the doctor would always say, "Oh no, it's really low. It's really low, but it's at the bottom end. Don't worry about it." And then finally, I just went to him and said, "Look, you got to do something about this," and sent me to a concussion specialist. And so I'm like working closely with a doctor on it. It's not like something that does.
Brother, I hate to interrupt you, but we're going to get in so much trouble. The fans are going to lose their shit if we turn this into a TRT show. Do you have anything you'd like to say about but please call back on Monday. We're going to do a whole TRT show. Is there anything you'd like to say about what the shit show that is CrossFit Inc. and the propaganda machine that's floundering?
Like I have a kind of a question, but also I have a thing. So I just started taking the judges course because I just wanted to do it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that really stood out to me, and I just want to read it quickly. The goal is to find the best athletes by holding events on an even playing field. The goal is not, and not is written in like bold red letters, to find the craftiest athlete who can blur the line between what is technically acceptable and what is not in the spirit of the event as written. And to me, the word spirit stands out. Like, we all know what CrossFit's supposed to be, right? You go in, it's not just about winning, it's about doing it right. It's about doing what is intended. And if you're just going in there just like trying to win at all costs, it just fucking ruins the sport. Like, for somebody like me at home watching it, trying to do the best I can, and watching other people just like, oh, you know, the open doesn't matter. Oh, this doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, well, he showed the capacity. It's like, if I'm playing rugby and I show the capacity to score a try, but I don't touch the ball down, I'm not getting a try. You know what I mean? Like,
Fair.
there's fucking rules.
Fair.
And it's...
I want it to mean something too.
Yeah. I spoke on this in the Velder video a little bit. In the Velder video, it's like all he does is everything that he's supposed to do, and everybody knows it. And it's because he's earned the right to do those things. And in the spirit of all of these people who are doing it in the spirit and not really doing it properly, they're almost doing these things because they're forced to, because they don't have the requisite fitness to be doing things the right way. In my opinion, that's why they do it. Yes.
I really enjoyed that Velder video.
Okay. No. You're a good dude. Thank you. I have to hang up on you. Sorry, we have to keep the show going about the press conference. I love you. Call back on Monday, TRT.
I appreciate you.
So one of the things, look at Sousa's giving me the thumbs up and laughing.
How do you know?
Because I can see him. I got like admins. When you've been on the show enough times, we'll give you admin, and you can see Caleb and every once in a while, they're like, look at these guys. Yeah, I know these. I know them. I just can't see them like you can. They're gone again. Okay, get your shirt. Listen, while we talk, look at these shirts. They're about to come out while I tell you something. Did you listen to the entire press conference, Andrew? Yeah. All but the first bit, because the person who sent me the first bit didn't start recording until later. What do you think? Oh, son of a bitch. Can you just listen for a second, Kevin? Just for a second. This Rob Miller comment is incredibly on point. Okay, here. What do you think stood out most from listening to the press conference today? What do you think stood out the most? You want to know? Because I have this one all teed up and ready to go for you. Okay. Have you ever seen The Campaign, the movie with Will Ferrell and Zach Galifianakis? If I have, I don't remember it. Whenever they asked Berg a question, it was the exact quote unquote type of speech given by Will Ferrell in The Campaign. And I have it all written out over here. So they go, all right, hey, well, what do you think you're going to do to bring jobs back in North Carolina? And he goes, I'd like to thank you for asking me that question. It's the first thing I think about in the morning. It's the last thing I think about before I go to bed. When we get more jobs in North Carolina, it creates a strong America, and a strong America means a strong North Carolina. And that's how I'm going to bring more jobs back to the state of North Carolina. And like, he runs around the question, and there's absolutely no direction and there's no answer. So I think about this directly when it goes, okay, how are you going to help the events, like the semifinal events? So you have a semifinal, and like, what are you going to do to support them? This is the freaking movie right here. So yeah, they ask Will Ferrell a question, and he just says every which thing to just keep talking. And then the entire crowd goes, yeah, what a good answer. So you didn't walk away with any, you didn't walk away. The only thing that we really learned is that the games are going to be in Madison in 2023. They were actually supposed to be in Birmingham. For those of you who don't know, I'm guessing most of you don't know that. The games were supposed to be in Birmingham. They were going to be moved, and now they are not moving. Probably you guys didn't know that. Alabama. Where's Birmingham? Birmingham, Alabama. The home of the civil rights movement. That's not why they're moving it there, is it? I don't know. Okay, Kevin, go ahead. Kevin? Mr. Bellinger?
Hello.
Hi.
Yo.
Thank you for being so patient. Yes.
No problem at all. Thank you. I love to ask you both. One is, any talk at all about an affiliate or any business out there that can really become an alternative? Because I think CrossFit's so an amazing sport, and I'm hoping that you guys help correct it so that it can become even part of the Olympics. I just think it has such an impact around the world. And the second question is, where is CrossFit in regards to Las Vegas and betting and how so far off?
There's a ton of people fucking with it. Those ideas of an app and betting and gaming and family fitness and fantasy fitness and fantasies of your mom, all that shit's being like tossed around. But I haven't seen anything come close to it'd be the worst betting sport on the face of the planet. Fruition.
every single year, the same guy and girl are going to win the games. And like, what are you betting around? Who's going to finish 10th possibly? It's like,
I
you
just
better
can't-
hope they finish the games.
I can't wait for the California Hormone Games, which will be happening in about a year at the ranch, where we crown the greatest man alive. So that's what I'm excited about.
Is this an open invitation
What
to the games athletes as well?
Yeah, of course.
And they would be doing it natural, correct?
Well, they do whatever they want. It's a free country. Do what you want.
Well, how you're going to drug test at the California Hormone Games, right?
We would definitely never do that.
Oh, okay. We're just asking some questions. Is
I
Zach still here?
I'm still here.
Go ahead, brother. Last question, and then we're gonna get nasty comments now.
I wanted to go back to the Olympics. Like, I know that it's a mess right now, but it's really so impactful. I'm a 40-year veteran of working with young people, and I turned a lot of young people into CrossFit direction. But with this mess that's happening right now, I see this as being something to be an Olympic sport as well too. So, but what would it take to be able to have CrossFit go in that direction?
I think the Olympics is a joke. I'm not a fan of the Olympics at all. I don't hold it any prestige. When people say, "Hey, what did the Olympics do?" I just laugh. I think that it's a fucking corrupt organization that's politically fucking hell-bent and doesn't do the right thing almost ever and never. The one thing that they did do right, which is fucking hilarious, and I take this back to a question that Sean Woodland mentioned in the press conference today when he asked Adrian or when he was asking Adrian and Justin about the placing of the athletes. Sean Woodland was asking, maybe you should place the athletes the same way the NCAA does. And when he says that, and I'm reading into this, and I apologize to Sean if I'm reading into it too much, he's saying it like that they are some authority. They are not a fucking authority. They're a fucking shit show, fucking corrupt organization that can be fucking bought by anyone at any time. And same with the Olympics. And people use the Olympics like that all the time. You'll see in the YouTube comments that people will argue, and it's a fallacy in argument. It's an authority fallacy, as if the Olympics are some sort of authority. Well, what would the Olympics do? Well, the Olympics did this. Well, and the Canadians love doing that shit to us. Well, the Olympics understand that it's an international sport. Well, let me tell you that, first of all, your argument's full of shit. It doesn't mean anything. The Olympics are nothing. But the irony is that the Olympics did not require vaccines in Tokyo. They did not.
Right. Yeah, why not?
Well, because their great organization, is Mr. Bellinger is saying. Sorry, Mr. I don't mean to attack you either. I'm just saying that I appreciate the fact that you like the kids, and I was trying to steer it back to the fact that, like, that was some of the questions in the press conference. Like, hey, when or how are these athletes placed? And I want to say this too. The one thing that stood out to me the most in the entire press conference was this response Adrian Bosman gave.
Which one? And
it was a question, once again, that came from Sean Woodland. Another fascinating thing that Sean Woodland got 2 questions, and there were, from what I hear, there were a shitload of people who didn't even get 1 question, and then there were fucking real journalists who weren't even allowed to be in. But Sean Woodland asked Adrian a question, and he prefaced it with, "I know that you give the athletes and I'm paraphrasing. I know you give the athletes a choice of where to place this year." And then he went on with the question. And then before Adrian answered the question, because Adrian has fucking integrity, he said, "I want to be very clear. We did not give the athletes a choice this year. What we did is we asked them, we sent out a survey and we asked them about any travel limitations." But I like the fact that he was so honest in that, because he could have just let that slide and be like, "I didn't say that. Sean Woodland said that." Do you remember that part when Adrian?
Oh, yeah. He said primary consideration was rank, and then travel restrictions was secondary consideration.
Yeah. And I just at least appreciated that. That was what stood out to me of the entire press conference. And it was very weird that Sean Woodland got 2 questions. When did you hear about people who did not get even 1 question? Have you heard from anyone?
I haven't heard of people who haven't gotten any, but I did only think that I heard 6 people who got questions. And from what I heard and read on the transcript that was sent to me, there were 3 questions directed at athletes that were just a complete waste of time. Just like, hey, and God, people are gonna be like, "Oh, you hate Mal O'Brien so much." It's like, I don't hate Mal O'Brien, but the question is like, "Hey, do you think you can beat Tia Toomey this year?" And then it's like, maybe. Or yeah, I'm gonna try and beat her. Like, what else would I be doing the CrossFit Games for? It's like, why is this an important question? Of course, she's gonna go try and beat Tia Toomey. She's trying to be the fittest woman on the world. Like, why waste your breath with that question in this press conference that's only 40 minutes long?
There was no reason for the athletes to be there, in my opinion. What do you think?
I agree. And then why are they the youngest athletes in the sport? You would think that you'd want to have like a Vellner or Vikowski, people who've been there, been around the block a couple times. They're answering questions for everybody. Would you agree?
Well, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
people on the PFAA, like what is that thing for?
Hey, and here's what's fascinating too. Man, this is going to be weird. It's going to be kind of a weird backhanded compliment. I don't see eye to eye with Vellner, and pretty much anything.
All right, on what?
But if I was fucking running the show, he'd be the fucking first guy I'd have in the press fucking conference. I put my
That's
fucking
what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. I'd put my fucking ego aside and I'd have the fucking guy on who's best for the fucking job. That's why it's another mistake that these fucking knuckleheads are keeping us on the outside of the fence. At least let Hiller inside. You're fucking nuts keeping us on the outside of the fence. We're not good for the company on the outside of the fence.
I don't know. I think we're pretty good. We're doing their job.
We're killing it, but it's not good for them. It's not good for the company. It's not good for the community. And it's all for ego reasons. It's all for ego reasons. You have to know that. That's a reason right there to de-affiliate.
What's that?
That the fact that it's people running the show for not what's best for the company, but what's best for their ego.
They do that. That's what it was. It was like, hey, morning chalk up. Please ask us these questions. Is what it felt like. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. But also, why are you keeping people outside of the fence when you're claiming diversity, inclusivity, equity, whatever? And they're people who, if you brought inside the fence, they could actually contribute instead of harm.
It's because they didn't want me to ask Mal O'Brien a question. That's what it was.
Well, I'll also tell you this. I was invited to the CrossFit Games last year or the year before, I can't remember, to after I was fired to film there, and Eric Rose's response was no. Katrin cried because of what Sevan said about her, and we don't want Sevan around her.
Are you talking about the time where she threw you under the bus and then all you did was say some facts about it, so she cried?
Yes.
Oh man.
Yes.
Oh.
Where would I drop the ego? Where would I think I did drop it. Pick it.
It's in there somewhere. It's under the couch. Go lift that thing up. I know you're strong.
The whoopie's no good.
The whoopie's terrible. Did you see my video on that? I compared the whoop against the MyZone. I have it around. Yeah, I didn't see your original one.
I saw your most recent one.
Look at that thing. That's how you want to wear it. You know what? It looks just like this thing. Yeah, so you just strap this to your nipples and you're good to go. That looks like some Australian dude.
Is it Tom
Porter?
Yeah. Oh shit! All right.
Good. Yeah, I compared the Whoop to the MyZone MyZone and the Apple Watch, and it was far and away the worst of the three. I mean, the MyZone claims that it's got 99.7% accuracy right on the website. You can't find anything on the Whoop to claim how accurate it is. But I've got plenty of knowledge, and I've had one since 2015. And from what I saw, you had the Whoop 1, 2, and 3, and all of those were extremely accurate. You do some double unders, your heart rate goes up. You stop doing double unders, it goes down. It's like, I feel like I'm at 180. It says you're at 180. The 4.0 comes out. You're killing yourself on a rower. You just rode a 5K PR pace, and then you come on off. It says you're at a 140 heart rate. You watch Froning do it. Did you see the video where I plugged in Froning doing 22.1?
Hey, you know what's funny? You know how stupid I am, though? That's the thing. It doesn't matter.
I know. This is the stuff I'm talking about, Sevan. I'm watching you recapping some of the stuff that I talk about, and you're like, wow, he is fit. And I just want to come over there. I want to strangle you. I want to kill you for saying that. I'm like, no.
Well, now you have my phone number. You can just call into the show and be like, moron.
Sevan, you son of a bitch. It's like, he's fit. So my buddy Street Horner, he'll like swim.
Hold on. Before you go on, I want to say what happened. Hiller made a video that showed he was talking about how Rich Froning's heartbeat goes down when he works out, and when he rests, it goes up. And he was like pointing out some weird shit like that. And I thought, wow, that's fascinating. I didn't realize think it was fascinating, because then you're gonna go buy a Whoop, and you're like, yeah, I hope Whoop puts me on their show. I'll put the thing on there. Yeah, see how angry I'm getting. Anyway, my buddy Street goes swimming in the pool. His heart rate goes up to 204 because the dude's fit as shit. And he then will operate well at a higher heart rate, not sit lower, because
basically when your heart rate doesn't go that high, a lot of the time it's because you're not fit enough to express a high heart rate. So you just can't get there and you panic and slow down.
I know this is off subject, but I would like to have Street Horner on the show and talk to him in detail about his relationship with David Catron's daughter, if he's so interested.
All right.
In detail.
Yeah, Street's the man. He's a good dude.
He is a good dude. I always thought he was a
very
foreigner.
good dude.
I didn't invite him on the podcast for the longest time because I thought he was a foreigner.
You've got plenty of foreigners on your show, man.
I know, but like I thought he was one like didn't speak English. So I didn't think like BKG speaks English.
It's because his abs are too nice.
Right. The conference was shared. The propaganda conference was shared the day before. It's not a press conference. We forgot to say goodbye to that guy. CrossFit didn't even notify their own staff about this press conference. They didn't know. They found out from the morning chalk up.
How do you know?
They weren't notified.
How do you know that?
What did you say when I asked you that question? I cannot tell you my sources.
There you go. Good boy.
Another
I got something I want to talk about.
Okay.
On the topic that is the discussion of this show is where is it? They were talking about, I have it over here. I have notes just like you. Semifinal programming. They were talking about the fact that they have 2 workouts released. So the semifinals are to have 6 workouts, correct? Did you catch this part? All right. So the semifinals have 6 workouts. They have 2 that are given to them by CrossFit. They're all going to know these. So like the semifinals go week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. And of course, the ones that will be weeks 2, 3, and 4 are going to know them ahead of time because they have to release them for week 1. And then they said that there is no order in which they have to be completed. So
I heard that.
Which I thought that was interesting. And then they also said that they have bumpers around the workouts themselves. So let's say, hey, we want something that's 3 minutes long. We want it to be a barbell and a gymnastics movement. That's what I hear when I say that they want bumpers on a workout.
You mean the other 4?
Correct. There's bumpers on, quote unquote, bumpers on them.
Where was that? I have the transcript open right here. Do you know where that is in the transcript? That's fascinating. I didn't catch that.
Let's see. I got the transcript somewhere.
So that means that the workout. Well, regardless, I think the workouts have to be approved by HQ anyway. That there's
it's in the first paragraph of the transcript. Maybe it's in the second paragraph, but it's speaker 1, and it's either the first or the second paragraph. But there it is. Bumpers. It's the 15th line down in the first paragraph. 240. Can you see that?
I only see 13 lines in the first paragraph.
Well, I was roughly estimating about 15 lines down.
I see it. Here we go. That was something that we heard a lot about last season, was a cross-region comparison potential, and so that's why we decided to go that way. Once we provided these 2 workouts to the semifinal organizers, we also provided them some bumpers kind of on the ends of what we wanted for the rest of the workouts to be, and again, to try to balance consistency with the uniqueness of each event. So they had some. This sounds like the way it's the verbs are. It sounds like they're talking about a past event.
That's not how I heard it. The way that I heard it is they are saying, here are your 2 workouts. Put them wherever you want. So like you can put them 1st and 6th, or 2nd and 5th, or 3rd and 4th, wherever you want to put them. And then your other 4 workouts, there has to be something long, something short, something in the middle, something just weightlifting. That's how I hear it. And those are their bumpers.
And then 6 weeks out from each semifinal, we conduct a full review of the programming that they submit to us. Fair enough.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So do you see any problems with this?
I think that's great. No, I just thought that we were just, recapping. That was Adrian Bosman who gave all of that information. You already said that he is a very viable and integrity filled dude. So I was just pointing that out because we are reviewing, the official, unofficial press conference. And that was something that I was definitely thought worth noting because I haven't read it anywhere on the internet. All I've read is, the games are going to be in Madison. It's like, well, that's great. Who cares? They're going to be in Madison. The only thing that would have mattered is if they would have sent it overseas, right? Oh, the games are in Europe. That would have been big news.
Right. Or if they would have announced a CEO.
That would have also been big news. But like they're in Madison, it's like, okay, no one would have even known. Like, okay, they're just there again. They were going to be there anyway, right? No one cares. Like, why do we have to know this? Why is this what's being talked about?
What you mentioned about O2 and GoWAD, which is interesting, is as of a week ago, I also heard that many people who are working in the ecosystem with the games have not been given budgets. That they don't know exactly how they're supposed to service these events. I'm trying to be semi-vague here.
Service the events, meaning the semifinals, or service the games?
Meaning, let's say you're the guy who supplies the porta potties for an event, and you can't order the porta potties yet because you don't know how much money you're going to get to be allocated.
Oh,
and
I heard you say it as in there's no budget, so they're going to get unlimited porta potties.
No, there's no budget, like as in they don't know. And we're getting really, really close to showtime. We're a couple weeks away, right?
And you would venture to say that's something that Mr. Dave Castro would have squared away, correct?
Correct.
All right.
Dave's dead. He's gone. Dave's gone.
All right. He's not dead. He's out there somewhere.
Well, I mean, he's just taking pictures of mountain lions and shit now. I mean, this whole thing now is the Justin Berg show. Everything we're watching.
On the back of that comment, every single time somebody asked him a question on this press conference, he would have to tie in Adrian Bosman. Like, hey, Justin, we have a question for you. Well, let's bring in Adrian just to make sure that I don't misverb this. But here, and then he'd start talking, and he would then basically give an answer. But it was very interesting. When someone in the comments goes, "Hey, Andrew, what do you think about the whoop?" And I go, "Oh, Sevan, make sure that I don't mess this up." But it was interesting to me to hear that over and over again.
I started the show with Hiller, please jump in wherever you want and unfuck. I went to the same school as Justin Berg.
Your Twitter account is all messed up too. You go back and forth all the time on your Twitter account. Are you on Twitter, Sevan? Not
really. Nothing that I manage. I repost everything that Elon does, and then we just started a Twitter account for the Sevan podcast.
Do you have a TikTok?
I do have one, but I signed up for it and then I erased the app off my phone once I was told the Chinese own it.
What was your first CrossFit workout?
My first like real one was Fight Gone Bad, but the first time I ever heard of CrossFit, I did Fran, and I did it with a friend at a gym, and I didn't know you were supposed to do it for time. So like I did 11 thrusters, then you did 11 thrusters, then we went and got a drink of water, then I did 10, then you did 10, and then it was cool though. I didn't know it was supposed to be for.
Did you do strict pull-ups at 95 pounds?
Yeah, I almost only do strict pull-ups.
Did you do that with James Hobart? Because that was also James Hobart's first. Were you his partner?
No, when I started CrossFit, James Hobart was a fucking sperm. Actually, I don't think a sperm was used to make James Hobart. He's too soft.
Hey, speaking of both James Hobart and Dave Castro, nice job.
Dave Castro was only made from sperm, and James Hobart was only made from eggs.
You know what? You really don't want him back on your show, do you?
I do want him on my show. I'm throwing a fucking temper tantrum the same way this fucking knucklehead. I mean, don't get me started.
You're started. Like, finish it. You can't just cut it off.
I'm going through my list right now. Semifinal. Okay, so I do have that. Semifinal workouts don't have to be in any specific order. I talked about what I thought Adrian did a great job at unfucking.
They talked about the international athletes.
They did talk about them?
They did, yes. They said that this year, so they compared it from this year to last year. So they were essentially saying last year there was COVID. Last year there were more athletes to take into consideration. So they then, because there were so many athletes and such vast considerations to be made, that they then made the considerations. And they
don't believe that. I don't believe that.
What do you believe?
I don't believe that those. I believe that it's equally as challenging this year as last year. I don't think.
With the things that they were bringing, I made the video on Samsonov and Roman Krennikov, and in my opinion, those are way bigger issues. They're like life issues, and you got Tia Toomey, who went back to Australia this year, right? Because she didn't have to quarantine to go do it and compete at the Torian Pro this year, and then she would have had to have quarantined to come back to the United States. You always got to ask the question: would they have then made a change if she couldn't do those things? Because they made a change last year because of that. And would they have still made the same change this year? Or are they just like, hey, screw you, Roman Krennikov. We don't care about you finally making it to the CrossFit Games. And then if that's the case, then it's completely bullshit.
Yeah.
Or Samsonov, who lived here since he was like 2 years old, and he's basically an American citizen that can't be sent back and forth because of visa issues. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, hey, go to your home country, compete in Asia. We don't care if you can't come back. It's just Last chance qualifier. So they keep on, and that's another thing. And they say, hey, we tried to do something. We offered them the last chance qualifier, and that's not fair. They go online competition, and then, they have to finish in the top 2 of the online qualifier. It's like there's not enough spots. They also, in the exact same spot, try to say you can't compare the Asian semifinal to the North American semifinal. They bring up the fact that there were creative ideas to switch, but they were not going to take them into consideration this year. They say, because and Story put something up on his Instagram. He had like a 10-part
Snorri.
That's what I said. Snorri. What is wrong with these things?
I thought you said Story. I thought you said Story.
No, Snorri. Sorry, I'm talking too fast. It's my thing. So Story put up his 10-part thing on his Instagram story. I did say Story. Snorri on his story is what I said. It's alliteration, Sevan. Come on. But he put that up, and within it, he talked about how the athletes like Samsonov had somebody who was offering to switch. I believe it was his training partner, and I'm forgetting his name, but he said that he would switch his places because his training partner could go to Asia and then he could come back. CrossFit has heard these things, and they said that they're creative, but they're not going to take them into consideration this year. And
I heard that. I heard that. Berg said that too. Yeah.
This year is what he said. He made it very clear, which means that next year, let's say somebody like, and again, I'm going to say the greatest in the sport, Tia Toomey, as the female side, she could be the person that they're saying in the future about, because they don't want to put it right there because they're leaving it vague for that sort of a situation, which is completely bullshit as well. Right?
100%. Hey, anytime I hear that word fair, it's bullshit. It's fucking ambiguous fucking bullshit woke talk. Fair? Is it important to be fair, or is it important to get all the athletes there to compete?
I don't think it's fair to. I don't think it's worthwhile to send them to the last chance qualifier. I think actually it's less fair to the people in the last chance qualifier.
Me too, 100%. 100. It's 100%.
Because the people in last chance qualifier, usually it's coming off the back of their semifinal. They have 1 week to do it after they just beat their body to shit. Fair, in accordance with the rules of standards, legitimate.
Yeah.
So,
thank you, Caleb.
I just keep thinking common sense says no. Common sense says no.
Oh, this should be interesting. This is from the woke capital of the United States.
What's that?
Portland. Hello.
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 How can I help
Stupid
you?
tinfoil hat question. Tinfoil hat question.
Yes. Well, I hold on. I'm going to snug my tinfoil hat on tight. I got it.
Do you feel like they're making it so hard for Roman because they don't want a Russian flag on the podium?
No, I don't think that.
I don't think that.
What do you think?
Stupid question.
What do you think?
There are no stupid questions.
What do you think?
I don't know. I just feel like they're making it hard for some athletes, and they just don't need to.
What do you think about what Adrian said? Adrian in the press conference said, well, you guys don't know. They didn't televise the press conference. That's another thing. It's not, how the fuck is it a press conference if there's not a video of it somewhere? It's so fucking stupid.
To piggyback off the Roman thing, from what I understand, it wasn't CrossFit's fault that he's been held out for so long, correct? It was for whatever like actual governmental issues that he wasn't able to get in the United States, or his visa issues. I don't want to misspeak because it's just his visa.
That he's a Chechnyan spy. He's a Chechnyan spy. He's a double agent.
I don't know shit about fuck, but I know that he wasn't able to get in the United States, and that doesn't really have anything to do with CrossFit.
That he's really a woman and he couldn't get his sex changed on his passport, so he's been stuck over there. Here's what I think. Here's what I think is happening. Well, here's what Adrian said that I think this kind of hit me hard, because I've had this feeling before too. I don't want to be a fucking nitpicky bitch, even though it's fun making the media about it doing this. And so one of the things Adrian said in the press conferences is like, hey, I'm paraphrasing, these motherfuckers fucking jumped on our ass when the videos were submitted, and they didn't fucking give us a chance to see them.
Yeah, he did say that.
And he was cool as shit about it. And I've thought that too. Andrew and I talked about that on our first show together. It's like, maybe we're fucking jumping the gun.
Yeah, he did bring that up. I wish they would have said my name though.
and Andrew, of course we wouldn't have let Hip and Steel in. Chill out, bro. Smoke a dude.
The thing is Hip and Steel pulled his freaking name out, so we don't know. That was the biggest. Hip and Steel. It's like what is that TV show? It's like a Dexter or something, where they go in and they make that guy like shoot himself, because it's like, now we have to make it look like you committed suicide so that we aren't the bad guys here. because they weren't going to get rid of his score, is what it looked like.
Hey, but here's the valid point where you bring up. They chose Gabriela Magawa, Mal O'Brien, and Guy Malheiros, 3 people who don't have mastery of the English language at the press conference, and when they could have easily have chosen Patrick Vellner, and maybe that's because they did that because they believe that there's some sort of exploding growth, or they're trying to stimulate growth outside of the United States in viewership. But why didn't they choose someone like Roman? I mean, who knows? I'm just entertaining the idea, but this company is woke as fuck too, and that is a kind of like a woke thing to do, is maybe punish Roman. I'm just trying to explore the idea, but I don't think so. But maybe.
Thanks for taking the call.
Yeah, thank you. You have a very nice voice. Bye.
You do. You should broadcast the CrossFit Games.
You sounded like our smartest listener. So okay, so I could chalk that off my list about Adrian saying we jumped the gun on ass pounding the submissions. Okay, I think I've
the big thing along with that was that they were talking. It was Sean Woodland who addressed that question. He asked like about the quarterfinals, the videos, and like why should we trust CrossFit? And then Bosman's the one who fielded the question, and he said it's one of our biggest priorities is to have trust. Correct. And today the Morning Chalk Up on their story put, what do you think that they need to do in order to gain the trust of the community back? And I think it's an extremely simple answer. And the answer is put the videos on the leaderboard. And if they just do it at the stage of the quarterfinal, that's okay. Like make the quarterfinals people all put their videos on the leaderboard and bring back exactly the software that they had in 2018, which was the judging of the judges. You take the $10 course, you Sevan, you take the $10 course, and then you can go onto the leaderboard right now and you can say, oh, that's not a good video. Oh, that's not a good video. And if anything, it just dings it so that the people who are higher up can see. That is so loud in these headphones.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Andrew. Go on. Joshua, do 30 burpees while Andrew finishes his thought, please. Okay.
And then 60 sit-ups. He's out of here.
Yep. So allow people to
you know about that process, right, Sevan?
Yeah. And it was actually one of the things that Greg always talked about. Like,
what
hey,
did he say?
He would basically say, hey, people are going to submit videos.
Self-police.
And someone's like, how are we going to police all the videos? He goes, we don't need to. Because what do you mean? He goes, as soon as the emails start pouring in that this motherfucker cheated, we look at that one.
And now it's literally just me and people who follow me on Instagram who send me things, and it's our job all of a sudden. Not that it's our job. I've made it my job.
Hey, if Greg owned the company, you'd have been hired already. He brings everyone inside. Yeah, he brings everyone inside the fence.
And if Greg were still part of the company, Dave Castro still would be, and I wouldn't be doing this because I'd be afraid I'd be getting in trouble.
When I meet the people today who work at CrossFit who come from outside the ecosystem, they're not CrossFitters, and I want to say this without, I don't mean it to be mean, but we're just a different breed. And that's another thing you should know, that if you're an affiliate or if you're a CrossFitter, they're just a different breed. When you meet them, they don't stand like us. They don't make eye contact us. They don't shake hands like us. They don't hug like us.
Who are you talking about again?
Just when you meet people who are new to CrossFit, it takes them a while to, to stand up straight. They don't all stand up straight like us. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? Like this?
They're like triathletes. They do this kind of stuff, and there's like a little bit of like a beta. Yeah. There's not, like if you see Nicole Carroll walk into a room, like her arms don't rest down on her side. You know what I mean? She like walks.
Well, it's because her lats are fucking huge.
Yeah. And
your arms go down, or are they?
No, fuck no. This is as far as my arms go down.
You sit there and you're just like a freaking triangle.
I was at a wedding one time. This is a fucking true story. I was at a wedding one time, and it was outside wedding, and I was sitting at a picnic bench across from Nicole Carroll, and I don't remember the order that it happened in, but there were like 10 people on the bench, and Nicole Carroll comes out looking beautiful, and she's wearing these jeans and a like a white blouse. And it's
okay.
like an outdoor wedding. It's shitload of fucking people there. 500 people there. It's an overnight wedding. You all sleep at this campground with like some people are in tents, some people are in cabins. It was dope. And she sits down, and you hear this crazy rip. This crazy rip. And my wife's there, and Nicole starts laughing, and she stands up and she walks away, and her jeans have fucking split.
Where?
Just right down the ass. She got a
no.
fucking big old cabusa. Yeah. Big old bubble cabusa. So she leaves and she comes back and she sits down and she leans over to eat her food or get something, and the fucking back of her shirt fucking rips open. She ripped the shirt and jeans at the fucking same. I've never seen anyone do that, man or woman.
So what you're trying to say is that
this is
the
a
people
small
outside,
woman. This is like a 5'1" woman.
Was she wearing clothes that were too small? Is that what you were saying? Or
I mean,
she's
they
just
didn't look.
jacked?
They don't look too clothed, small on her when she has them on. But like, if like she moves or like she gets a pump, like the pump from reaching over to grab the guac, that shit fucking ripped.
Oh my God.
It was crazy.
And what you're trying to say is that the people that you were speaking of outside of CrossFit don't have clothing issues like Nicole Carroll does.
They're just a different breed than us. You would be so disappointed. Like when Greg walked in, when Greg walked into a room, he grabbed every single person and hugged them and squeezed them and acted like he knew them forever. Like we all did the same thing. We all shook hands. We all hugged. There was a bond. It's gone. It's Sevan's actually wearing those jeans right now. Yeah, that Nicole Carroll.
They don't look as tight on you, Sevan.
When she threw them away, I went to the trash and got them.
You're like a freaking raccoon.
It's just you would be there's a beta component, a triathlete weirdo component.
Whoa! You're saying triathletes are weird?
Bostonian component to executives in general, and whether you're in Boulder is just. If you haven't been to Boulder, you have to go there. It's just a different breed. They're not like men don't grow facial hair like Hiller there. Like you just, and if you do, it's coiffed. It's just a different breed.
Yeah, I comb this thing every morning. You're gonna hate me for that. I don't do that. I can't say that seriously.
I don't mind it. I don't mind if you comb it. Look at my hair. I run my
I think
hair 12
half
times
of my
a
high
minute.
school went to Boulder, Colorado when they graduated. What's up with that place?
Who went there?
Like half of my high school when they graduated, I felt like every single one of them went to Boulder, Colorado. Colorado was a hot spot for a while. It's because they were the first spot to legalize marijuana, right?
Oh, maybe.
Maybe that's why HQ's there.
Gee, I hear you. I know it is.
What happened?
Or it's the peak of insults. Or it's the peak of insults. That's the thing. I don't really use that term beta, but I know one when I see one. And there's a posture, kind of can't make eye contact, not present, a busy mind, element to it. It's a Nike exec. It's like have you ever been on campus at Nike?
Have you?
Yes, the Nike campus. It's just everyone's like too.
Anthony, I would totally take the head judge job.
Like these dudes would get fucking destroyed if they had to work a day on a farm.
Yeah, I feel that way about a lot of people in a lot of situations. Like you look at their hands and they just don't look like they've ever done a day's work in their life.
Right.
It goes very much along with what you're saying about all of this.
Well, is there anything else we want to address here in this about this press conference? I think we did a pretty good job of expanding on a press conference that was pretty vapid. What we do know is that they're going to do the games again in Madison, not Birmingham. We know that they definitely we know that the press wasn't the real press. We know that it was propaganda.
Let me check my notes. They're over.
Oh,
here.
Nice. We know that Andrew Weinstein is not a real CrossFitter, never has been. That most of the executive team, if any, the C-suite, that they are not. I think the only person that they hired over there, only hardcore person that they hired, I think Gary Gaines is like maybe like a 10-year CrossFitter. I think maybe he's the only one. Gary Gaines? Yeah, and he surrounded himself with some animals too, some bosses. Austin Malleolo, Hobart, those guys. Yeah, so that's it. That's all I got.
Do you have any other familiarity with other press conferences outside of CrossFit space?
Yeah. What I watch a press conference every week. I watch a press conference,
right?
Yeah, for the UFC every week. I never miss it.
What does it look like?
Yeah,
what happens?
Everyone is welcome to the press conference. The people that you're going to ask questions to are sitting up in front of you, and anyone can fire a question as long as you sign up ahead of time. Anyone, okay, and what are the
what's like the umbrella in which the questions are being asked? What's under the umbrella that they're asking the athletes? Because that's why they have the athletes there, because in a press conference, just like your UFC fight, they have athletes there to be answering your questions, correct? And
Right.
sometimes people like Dana White will be there with them to answer
And they ask Dana
questions.
questions too, like Dana, why did the ticket prices go up? Dana, why is this fight a 5-round fight when normally it's a 3-round fight? They ask Dana questions too, which is cool. But they ask the fighters questions too. In this particular circumstance, this should have been just an admin session.
Now, Sevan, it would be like me asking the questions that they were asking the athletes. This is what I'm getting at. It'd be like me saying, "Hey, what color is that microphone you've got?" Oh, okay, thanks. Next question. That was a very good answer. That it's like I brought up the "Can you beat Tia?" question. Like, why is that relevant? Like, why is that something that you're asking in this space? And then there was another one, like that's Guy. They go, "Hey, if you were to pick like your favorite person to compete against, who would you pick?" And he was like,
No, not who you can. Someone who you would want to go to the competition with you.
Oh, that's that question. It just didn't make any sense. Well, that's why I looked at my notes over there, because I had these things lined up on there that I didn't have on my computer.
It was so bad, dude. It was so I could just go off and ass pound everyone there, but I kind of don't want to. I'm trying to turn another leaf, but it was so bad. It was so bad.
I wanted to be sure that we hit each of the bullet points, because there were only basically 12 questions.
There was no one there. It was not a press conference. It was a propaganda thing. What's the takeaway there? You want to go big picture? It's completely disingenuous. It's the same fucking lies that have been coming out of the CrossFit Games all fucking year. It's all disingenuous from Justin Berg. Just even Whoopi. We can't even side with Whoop and being like, good job leaving CrossFit. They're bullshit. You're a bunch of fucking ass clowns too. We've seen the disingenuous in your remarks as you've stepped out of the room, walked out of the room. Just say it. They wrote that they're trying to be more inclusive by switching it to box fitness. No. That's bullshit. That doesn't make it more inclusive. You're full of shit. We know you're full of shit.
What's in the box?
Yeah.
What's in the box?
Do you have a video coming out tomorrow? Do you have a video coming out tomorrow?
Yeah, I do. It's a good one.
Can you give us a hint? Can you give us a hint?
It's tight. You want to know the title? I have it all made up. It's titled "Breaking CrossFit Leaks the 2022 CrossFit Events."
I don't think they have them yet.
You don't think they have? Oh, well, that's interesting, because there you go. I don't know how you make things pop up on there, but there it is. You see that?
Wow, is that some Craig Ritchie shit? It's just clickbait.
Well, when you watch a Craig Ritchie video, do you ever feel as if anything lines up with the substance of the freaking clickbait? My biggest thing with every video I put out is that when you click on it, at some point you're like, okay, I see what happened there. And sometimes it's true, and then sometimes you're like, well, at least this was a video worth watching. So,
okay, I can't wait. What time is that coming out tomorrow?
I try to get them up before 8 a.m. We keep on talking. Hey, if you guys are in here still and you haven't sent this video to your best friend and liked it, do it, because posting it at 8 a.m. Sevan is the best time according to the data on YouTube. So I try to get it out by 8 a.m.
8 Suze, you guys get this? 8 a.m.
8 a.m.
Writing notes.
I'm gonna send it to 5 friends. 5 of my best friends.
8 a.m.
no.
Got it.
We got somebody coming.
Is that 8 a.m. Central Time or Pacific?
That would be Central. So that would be 6 o'clock Pacific.
You don't have any caller ID. What's up?
You're an asshole. No one wants to be your friend. You're a nigger, a piece of shit. Fuck you.
Whoa, and hang up.
Excuse me.
Jeez. I think maybe it was me.
Everyone with the Southern accent.
You brought me on, and then the call just went. They were so good tonight. And then,
Caleb, what were you? Caleb, where were you in that call? Notice Caleb wasn't there when was that you on the call, Caleb?
Ooh. I've never seen Batman and Caleb in the same room at the same time, but someone wanted me to talk on Nate Edwardson, and yeah, he blocked me on YouTube because I commented about his clickbait. Because his clickbait, I'm like, all right, I want to hear about the no reps, and then he doesn't talk about me at all on his channel.
Wait, you can block people on YouTube?
So what you do is you go into the background and you make their comments invisible to the public. So if I were to go on it, I can still go see it, but if I were to sign on someone else's YouTube, I can't see my comments.
Like,
So they try to make it sneaky, but I know exactly what's going on. He doesn't want anyone seeing my comments on his YouTube channel because I called him out. I can't find the spot where you talk about no reps, and then I finally found it, and I'm like, and then you didn't even mention my name. I'm like the no rep guy. I have a shirt that says no rep on it. And if you haven't gone to the website yet for Travis, like, go get up the no rep shirt. He just released a couple more. Did we talk about that? We kind of talked about that.
Someone else told me that they didn't like. Someone else told me that they didn't like how he takes other people's podcasts and plays them without giving them credit. I don't think I have a problem with that though.
Well, I do that with yours like pretty frequently. So
yeah, okay, well, good. I like it. I'm flattered by it. I don't have a problem with it.
He blocks me, but when I post your stuff, people go to you, and then they might come back to me. So why wouldn't he try to bounce off me a little bit? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was trying to play with him. He didn't want to play. He just like, all right, get the fuck out of here, dude. I don't need you. Huh?
Did you see his newest video? He just released one like a couple hours ago.
Oh, does it have something to do with me blocking or getting blocked?
I couldn't find it because it says
time to address the drama.
Yeah, and I kind of kept skipping through to wait for the part. It just goes into him working out and like him talking about his house, and maybe it's in there. I'm not.
It has to be about me. It's the first thing I'm doing, and he's gonna be like, "I see that you said I blocked him. I didn't block him. I just hit all of his comments."
Well, halfway through the video, he's just doing deadlifts, so I don't know.
He moves well. I got no reason to address that end of it. So
hey, let's. I want to see if we can find that. Let's give Nate some love. Let's scroll to the. I want to scroll to the part where he's talking about. I want to hear what he says about Andrew. Let's see what Andrew's going to say.
Bruce Wayne already said it has nothing to do with me.
Is that true, Bruce? Well, then you ruined it.
Bruce Wayne is just awesome.
That's like you go out with Bruce's sister and he's like, she's not going to sleep with you. Yeah.
Where do you come up with this shit? You have these all the time. It's just on like the tip of your tongue. You're just ready to throw that sort of stuff out.
Yeah, it's like,
it's awesome. I love it.
It's about Vellner. He is Vellner's guy. I think he used to be Vellner's like camera dude.
I like Vellner. Vellner's a good guy. I heard Nate Edwardson's in tight with the Buttery Bros too.
I think he did some like editing or work for them like really early on.
Go to the last 2 minutes to see the part he talks about in the title. Hey, let's title this video we talk about Nate Edwardson.
Hold on, everybody go.
and then there's like crop your face out, yeah. Hiller doing a video about Vellner. Oh. I like reading the comments while we're doing this. This is good. Mike, what's up, Mike? Mike's my guy. He sends me all the data.
Mike Fuentes?
Mike's the guy who with the full-time job who saved CrossFit. Mike Halpin. Yeah. I asked him how to pronounce his name because we had only talked through Instagram, and then I mispronounced it in the entire video. So there we go. It's Halpin.
Hey, how many subscribers do you have?
I believe I'm just shy of 12,000 right now. I'm like this close to you. I almost got you.
That's it. I'm buying a few.
No. You're gonna buy some? Are they cheap? Are they expensive?
I don't know. I just made it.
Hey, it's the same guy with no caller ID. He didn't get to come on.
Don't answer that one again.
You don't get to come on twice.
I was talking to someone the other day who knows an individual that works for Meta, Facebook, Instagram, and apparently on that end, they can see who has fake followers. So if they were to go on someone's account, they can see how many fake followers they've got. I just thought that was interesting.
Hey, so some guy,
I could do,
So some guy came on my show. Some guy hit me up in the DMs. So every day in my DMs, I get in the request, I get like 10 people that tell me 5 are going to sell me NFTs and 5 are going to give me Instagram followers, right? And I always I hit accept and then delete. Accept and then delete. Or maybe I don't even hit delete. I just hit accept and they just go into the pile, right?
Why?
Why what?
Why do you accept them?
Yeah, why not just delete them?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Or just leave them, like never talk to them ever again.
Well, I want to clear out that box, the request box. I just put accept and then they just go into a bin. Maybe there's a better way to do it. I don't know. Oh, Hiller 11.6, Sevan 13.4. Oh God.
Oh, it's a race to the finish. What are we gonna race to? Let's race to 100,000.
We're racing to 13.5 is actually what we're racing.
Yes.
All right, guys. Let's make this thing happen. 13.5. Everyone No, don't do that. I don't want to say that.
So this guy says, "Hey, just to show you," he pops in there and he says, "Hey, I just want to show you that I'm real. I just gave you 100 followers." and I go look to my followers list, and there's 100 followers there, and I start clicking on their profiles, and they're all just bullshit. They're just like they're just
And what is it that determines that they're bullshit? How do you know that?
Just like you click on it and they're not. It's like someone with like 3 posts or 2 posts, or it's like it just looks fake. They just look fake. I don't remember what the exact thing was. And so then he comes back and he's like, "Okay, I can get you now that did you see the followers pop in?" And I go, "Yes." And he goes, "Do you want more?" And I go, "I don't remember what I said. I didn't say anything."
So you are getting some fake followers. You son of a bitch.
Well, they're gone now. I made a post yesterday about
They unfollowed you after you said you didn't want more?
I don't remember what happened, but yesterday I lost like 300 followers. I never put on followers because I'm shadow banned. And yesterday I made a post. What's funny is it's a poster of people saying that you should lose weight. You should get weight loss surgery because diets are only temporary. And I made a post of that and I related it to abortion. And it's so funny. People took it the wrong way and I just lost like 300 followers. This sign says
this is real.
Yeah, diets don't work long term. Weight loss surgery does. And I said,
is this a park bench?
Yes. And I said, or your parents could have just aborted you and you would not even have to be alive and have such hard decisions to make. Barack Obama and the left hate melanated people. Prove me wrong.
You know, I can't believe people would unfollow you for that, man. I just don't know. I don't know what it is that people would read about that and go, I don't like this guy anymore.
I would be like, holy shit, Sevan cares about fucking everybody.
It seems that way, especially the people who don't think diets work long term. But they did lose 130 pounds with this weight loss surgery.
Right.
It's a long-term change.
Where is that park bench? It's over by where you live?
No, someone sent it to me. I actually think it's over by closer to where
Chicago?
To be honest with you, it looks like some shit they would have in Europe. I really want to hope that it's in England, but it's some guy who lives near Matt, 90 miles north of me, who sent it. But I really hope that it seems like some dumb fucking European shit. I really hope so. Not that we're not dumb, but sometimes I'm in denial.
I got to tell Chet Kowalski, he's my guy too. He asked, is anyone else your guy? I'm like, yeah, Chet's my guy. He's my number one. He's always the first one to watch my videos on YouTube.
Oh yeah, that guy's cool.
Do you have one of those?
I fuck with this guy in the DMs. I know
who's your number one guy, Sevan, in the comment section. Who's your number one or girl?
That's a great question.
I don't want to say it's gonna hurt everyone's feelings.
Oh, okay. Don't do it. Yeah.
Okay, you say who it is, Caleb. Who is it?
I'm not gonna do this.
Do you know who it is, Souza?
No.
I feel like it's Jen. It's like the dense after 40. She's always helping you out, it seems like.
Nah,
she's always in there.
Nah, there's a dude who's
Bruce Wayne, Dick Butter, they're up there. Bruce Wayne, Dick Butter.
Bruce Wayne's the man. I mean, there's so many close number ones though. Jeffrey Birchfield, Heidi. I mean, there's so many. Teddy. I mean, God, when I look in here, yes, actually, that is true. Sarah Cox is
Wad Zombie.
One.
He's always.
All right, Bruce,
out.
you're number 5. Sarah Cox is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hey, you know what's so funny? My kids know Sarah Cox, and Avi will be like, because I talk about her, and when I get off the podcast, to be like, he says it like in some accent. He's like, "Did you see Sarah Cox?" He says her name like all crazy like that. I was just looking at him. I try not to encourage it.
Oh my gosh!
You got to have your kid. No, you don't have kids on your show. No.
Do I ever have? No.
You wouldn't want to bring them onto the internet world.
Well, they're already all over my Instagram, but
they would have a blast. They just got to run in here one day and just wreck hell, like rip all the books off the shelf and leave.
I think Ari gave you a picture one time.
Oh, that's right. He did come in here and give me a picture.
Yeah.
If you guys want to get a no rep shirt, they will be released. Are they releasing tomorrow? The orders?
They're out right now. You can go get it right now.
Okay, and the website is.
Got a link for you.
Vindicate. VNDK8.com, I believe.
Okay.
Is that Omaha, Nebraska?
Yeah, it's by Travis. We did the entire talk on what video I made back in the day for the first one, and he is making them all by himself. He crushed through those first 700 shirts, and he wanted to do so. Now this is like a new special color that he created for the second run. And when you click on it, you can see a black one and a red one. And then on the other shirt, I believe the females have black and blue, black and white. Maybe it's just blue. But yeah, they're sweet. I think he has them all out and shipped out already. Someone already got their shirt. I can't believe how fast he did that. Yeah. So there's a
I
couple
don't
different
even
ones.
I don't even have a red CEO shirt yet.
And somebody has their no rep shirt already because Travis is the man.
I see you.
How do you get a
huh?
shirt from us? How does someone buy a shirt from us?
Life is all right.
Don't you have it on your website? You go to the Sevan, the real
Can you
Sevan.
show us how? Hey, we're gonna come out with wristbands soon, which I can't wait, and we're gonna come out with a purple shirt with gold. The CEO shirts are dope. It's a shame I just have one. It is politically homeless is out. I love it.
That's a cool. I like that.
It's not out.
No, I'm saying we'll see how long that sits out.
What's the website for this one? You didn't show that. All you did is bring it up. It's
AsRx.com. AsRx.com.
Or just go to the Sevan podcast. If you don't have one of these black CEO shirts, you're missing out. They're hard as shit. They're tough.
I got that. That's one of my favorite shirts. It fits really well. It fits tight in the waist and snug in the shoulders.
Yeah, does it make your biceps pop a little bit?
It does, yes. It's very much like the no rep shirt. It makes your biceps pop out.
Oh, geez.
Makes you feel yoked a little bit.
Sevan, let's see him. Sevan, throw it up there. It's so tight that look at that. Is this a first? That's fucking huge, dude. That's the first time I've ever seen a Sevan bicep. That's great.
Oh boy, yo.
The next step is we got to see his abs. That's the next step. Maybe next time. We'll save that for the hormone show.
So I got to tell you a couple things real quick before I hang up on all you motherfuckers. Dr. Stanton Hom tomorrow will be on the show at 12 noon. Then in the evening we will have Justin Noonley and Darian Weeks. Noonley is a fucking TikTok mega fucking star, and Darian Weeks fought Ian Gary last week in UFC, and we'll be doing our UFC show. Are you going to be on that with me, Caleb?
Yes.
And Caleb will be on there. Huge UFC fan, C Beaver. And then somewhere in there we need to get Yevgeny back on. Then we will have Alexis Landot on, who was featured on Joe Rogan's Instagram a couple days ago. I'm really excited. He's an urban climber. Then we have Alex Stein. Jorge Ventura called him the funniest man alive right now. And then Monday, this is going to be fucking huge. This is going to be a live call-in show. Everyone should fucking tune into this. It's going to be, we're going to have two doctors on, a man and a woman, and they're going to talk us through what is going on at California Hormones. And within a few days after that, we're going to tell you all the people who are going to be, who won the prize to get their blood work done and decide what kind of treatment they're going to get. And then we're going to follow them for the next 12 months. And then we're going to have the California Hormone Games. And then we're going to be bigger than Vice and Red Bull Media combined. And you'll see me and Hiller and Susan Beaver in the Seychelles drinking margaritas.
That's a good ass clickbait title. Can you be rich on this stuff?
Oh, does it say that? Can you be rich? Can you be?
Who made the
that's
title?
What
that's
it
a great
says?
title.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
CA Hormones. Can you be rich on this stuff?
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Okay, guys.
What's gonna happen when you prove that you can be rich on this stuff? That's when you're gonna top off.
Here's what I think is gonna happen. I think we're gonna have the California Hormone Games, and I think we're gonna give away fucking more prize money than anyone's given away in the space. And I think that Justin Medeiros is gonna come over there and win it.
That'd be sick.
That's a paycheck.
Yeah, but it's gonna be dope.
You got a number?
There's gonna be like someone who deadlifts 800 pounds, and he's only gonna deadlift 554, but he's still gonna win the games. You know what I mean? Let's say it again.
Do you know the number that you're thinking of? How much, or do you not?
Yeah. I don't want to get excited. I don't want to overpromise, but I do know.
Is it more than the games number?
Yes.
Ooh, that's going to be enticing.
Yes.
That's exciting. Okay.
Yes, and you can just sleep on the property. and our open is only $1,200 to enter.
Can you bring a trailer? $1,200.
But the rules are very clear, so you're good there.
You get your L1 with it.
You get your L1 with it. Hey, is there going to be like a parking spot for a trailer? Can we do like one of those things that they have at the games? Okay, I'm going to drive cross country. I'll be there.
Oh, awesome.
I'll pull the RV up there.
Head judge.
I'll accept that job.
All right, guys. We will see you guys soon. Andrew Hiller, thanks for coming on. C Beaver, Matthew Souza, thanks for running.